Last time on the show, we got a chance to talk about football and life with two-time Super Bowl winner Mark Rypien. Here's part two of that interview. The fans at home, I have to know about all the great things in terms of your playing career. I mean, the first Canadian quarterback to start in the NFL and then win a Super Bowl in the NFL, two-time Pro Bowler, two Super Bowl rings. And I think of that time, I mean, especially someone growing up here in New York, hoping that the Giants would win some more Super Bowls. And that Redskin team was incredible. I mean, playoff appearances in 90, 91, 92, and that magical run in 91, winning 17 of 19 games. I mean, what is the best highlight of that portion of your playing career? Because it had to be some time.
Well, the best highlight is that picture of our team picture of the characters and the guys that, I sweated with in the off season, that committed to a goal, and followed, our leader, Joe Gibbs, and our coaching staff, and individually and collectively as a group trying to make the best possible outcome that we could. So we set our mind, in that 91 season, and we had a very good mindset going in, and almost to a point where our coaching staff used to challenge us with game plans, figuring, we knew we had a bunch of smart players and good players, but we didn't know how smart and good these guys were. And we challenged them to a point where they went out and did everything and then beyond. And as coaches, we could kind of just like, hey, this is going to be a good year, and started out, being here in Dallas, we started out 11-0 that season in 91, and then Dallas came in and beat us at home, which actually was probably a good thing for us, because then you got to reset your mind and not live off laurels of what you had done, and to know that, hey, we're not that good. We need to work hard. And we need to get better in order to attain a Lombardi trophy. So I think it kind of reset our mind and our focus to what we had to do. And in doing so, we pretty much ran the tables. We kind of checked it down against Philadelphia, the last game of the season after we were up like 7 at halftime, and then kind of ran the tables in the playoffs and through the Super Bowl, and was probably one of the most dominant teams in the history of the NFL. That team and those characters of guys, and our defense, and our, whether it be Richie Pettibone leading the defensive crew, Joe Gibbs, and leading the offensive group. It's just a fun group to be around. So it's not really one game or anything. It's just that picture of the characters or all the guys. And I can look at that picture and tell a story for each and every one of them. And, and to be named MVP means you have to play well when it matters the most. But technically there's 5 or 6 other guys that are very deserving of that. And as a group, you could easily have given it to quite a few of us. But, I'm blessed to have had that, and it did open a bunch of doors for me later on in life. But more importantly, it was just a group of guys that had a goal in mind, and we set our jaws to getting that accomplished, and it was a magical year. So,
well, Mark, I idolized you growing up, and actually I had this game for the Game Boy. I'm showing my age here, the NFL Quarterback Club, and you were one, of course, of the elite quarterbacks in the league, and I would play Mark Rypien at that time on the Game Boy, and you were definitely the best at throwing the deep pass.
That son of a gun. Yeah, that was, that Game Boy, and then it got to the Madden, and that's so sad to see John pass this year. I mean, what I find, Bobby, is amazing is that everybody that knew John Madden, there wasn't a single one that had a bad word to say about the man. I mean, that's respect, when you look at sports and what a guy has done in sports, especially being a coach, an entertainer and commentator, and to not have one bad word said about you, that says a lot. It speaks volumes for John and his legacy that he left. And, if a lot of us can just live 1/10 of that legacy, and, we're going to be all right. So.
And as a guy that's also a big racing fan, I'm not sure if the fans at home knew this, but you were somebody that at one point owned a NASCAR team.
You did your homework, didn't you? Yeah. Chad Little was my driver. And you know how the saying is, how do you make a small fortune in racing? You start with a large. Is that it? Something like that? The good news is I didn't have to do any of the financial stuff. I just had to sit down with the John Deere people and solicit them and get them to buy into what we're doing. And we are so blessed to have us. I mean, you think about having a sponsor and John Deere's your sponsor. How good's that? That's about as all-American as it comes. And we won a couple years that first year in Busch Grand National and with Chad, and that was pretty exciting to win the not the Daytona 500, but the race that Saturday before. And then we won twice in like Hickory, and I mean we're off to a great start. And then things kind of went their own way. And Chad's doing very well now. He's still with NASCAR, but he's an old high school buddy of mine. Went to college at Washington State, and of course, everyone thinks it's, oh, you got in because of Joe Gibbs, and literally, no, I did not. It was my buddy Chad Little, and that's how we kind of got started. But man, Joe Gibbs has just done amazing things. It's like he's got a golden horseshoe. Whatever he touches turns out pretty doggone good. And he's got a great racing team. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being. One of my, heroes, just from the fact that I can't believe a coach that could get mad and upset at a team and not say one curse word, but you knew that he was upset at you, Golly geez, holy smoke, son of a gun. You guys got to play better football. I go, that's amazing. He didn't say one swear word, and we're fearful of our lives, So
Well, maybe that was the recipe for success. Great players and then not swearing.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, that was his way, and we would follow him off the cliff. And that's what we thought of our coach, and just amazing man. And obviously he had his son JD, probably one of the premier guys coming up in racing, passed away with early onset Alzheimer's. And my prayers to the Gibbs family, to have to go through that, their son, 47, 48 years old, and prime of his life with a beautiful family. And that's why we got to love our loved ones as much as we can, Bobby.
100%. Well, Mark, I appreciate you taking the time. One final question in closing here. Have you ever been to the Bronx? And if you haven't been, when you come, I'd love to take you around. I mean, if you've ever come, has there been any place that you've checked out in the Bronx ever in your life?
Well, I mean, Yankee Stadium back in the day, that was about the only place I've been. I mean, I think I actually probably went into a pizza place there once or twice, and just kind of walking through and hanging out. But Brooklyn, the Bronx, I mean, that whole area is just, I mean, that's our history, and a big part of our history and our athletes and our entertainers and in our world comes right from the Bronx and Manhattan there. So pretty
Well,
cool.
we're definitely known for the Yankees and pizza, and you're known for being one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Mark Rypien, thanks so much for taking
Bobby, I would love you to take you out for a piece of pizza. I want to be like David Portnoy, where you grab the pizza and look at it and goes, it's got a pretty good, I don't know what he calls it, pretty good on it. Let me taste it. Yeah.
You could definitely make that happen, Mark. And maybe sometime you could teach me the game of golf because I'm not very good at it.
We'll have to do that. There's a lot of, I mean, first and foremost, that Long Island area is unbelievable. Got so many good golf courses at Manhattan, up north, up there, Wingfoot and Rye and Westchester, and then down to Baltusrol. I mean, there's more golf in that freaking area than Heinz got pickles. It's a mecca for golf, and some of the best golf courses in the world right there in the greater New York area. So
appreciate the time, Mark. Always great to catch up, and
Cheers.
best of luck in the tournament.
Thanks, Bobby.